Here's why you play Lolita, the Steel Elf, as a roamer. First off, she has excellent team protection with her shield that can block almost any projectile-based skill or basic attack, making her a reliable frontliner against marksmen and poke heroes. She also has a powerful crowd control ultimate that can stun multiple enemies and challenge the course of a team fight when timed properly. Her passive provides a stackable shield for herself and her teammates, making her an ideal support for prolonged fights. However, Lolita has low mobility and relies on charging her ultimate, which can be cancelled by control effects. She also depends heavily on team coordination, as her full potential is seen only when fighting with allies. Lolita's passive, Numenon Energy Core, allows her and her nearby allies to gain a shield that scales with her HP and magic power every few seconds. Casting a skill or her ultimate gives an extra shield, and this effect stacks up to 3 times. These shields help Lolita and her team absorb poke damage and survive longer in fights. Lolita's first skill, Power Charge, dashes forward, and her next basic attack within a few seconds will dash again to the enemy, dealing damage and stunning them briefly. The skill helps her engage or chase enemies and is also useful for initiating small fights or punishing overextending enemies. Lolita's second skill, Guardian's Reflection, raises her shield and blocks all incoming range basic attacks and projectiles from the direction she's facing. The damage is reflected back, but passive effects from items won't be returned. The skill can absorb a significant amount of damage and is a strong tool to protect herself and allies from poke-heavy teams. Lolita's ultimate, Numenon Blast, charges a massive attack in a cone-shaped area and slows enemies while charging and then stuns the target based on how long the charge was held. The longer the charge, the greater the damage and stun duration. She can release it early to secure a faster stun. This skill is game-changing during team fights when positioned properly. Moving on to builds, Actually built Tough Boots, Flask of the Oasis, Dominance Eyes, Oracle, Antique Cuirass, and finally Immortality. These are the emblems that go along with this build. As for battle spells, the best battle spells for Lolita as a roamer in my opinion is Flicker, which allows you to reposition quickly, especially when casting your ultimate. It helps you land surprise stunts or escape after using your skills. Lolita performs extremely well against heroes who rely on range basic attacks or projectile skills such as Kimi and Cyclops, thanks to her second skill that blocks and reflects damage. However, she struggles against melee heroes with strong burst damage like Ling and Paquito, who can easily dodge or cancel her ultimate. She works best with backline carries like Hanabi or Layla, whom she can protect with her shields and crowd control. You should start by upgrading the first skill to help with early engagements, prioritize upgrading the first skill for lower cooldown and better stun potential, then level up the second skill next, and most importantly, upgrade the ultimate whenever available. When playing Lolita, your role is to disrupt the enemy's formation and protect your teammates. Use the second skill to shield your allies during sieges or when retreating from poke-heavy compositions. Always try to save your first skill for initiating fights or chasing down enemies. Your ultimate is one of the strongest team fight tools in the game, so it's important to use it when enemies are grouped together. Consider hiding in bushes and using Flicker during the charge animations to surprise enemies who think they are safe. Try to position yourself where enemies cannot interrupt your charge. Remember to stay near your damage dealers and use your passive to constantly refresh skills for your team. Good timing and positioning are key when playing Lolita, especially during team clashes, where one well-placed stun can turn everything around.